Welcome 2021 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that a simple 2021p quarter dollar, yes, the same kind you might have ignored at a grocery store, could actually be worth an astonishing $21 million? Most people wouldn't even give it a second glance. Yet hidden within this seemingly ordinary coin is a story so rare, so unbelievable, that even seasoned collectors have been left speechless. And here's the scary part. This coin could still be out there, quietly passing from hand to hand, completely unnoticed. Now stay with me, because not only will we uncover the truth behind this incredible coin, but later in this video, I'll hint at another coin that might shock you even more. And trust me, you do not want to miss that. Now let's dive in. The 2021p quarter dollar comes from the Philadelphia Mint, part of the United States Mint's long-running quarter program. But this particular year marked something special. It was during the transition into the American Women Quarters program, a series meant to honor influential women in American history. Millions upon millions of these coins were produced, which is exactly why nobody expected any of them to become extraordinarily valuable. But here's where things get interesting. During the minting process, a small number of quarters were struck under extremely unusual conditions, the kind of conditions that create what collectors call once-in-a-generation errors. These errors are not your everyday off-center strikes or minor imperfections. We're talking about dramatic die misalignments, double die obverse, so strong they almost look like shadows, and in some rumored cases, experimental planchets, meaning the coin may have been struck on the wrong type of metal entirely. Imagine holding a quarter that was never supposed to exist in that form. That alone is enough to make collectors go wild. But what truly drives the value into the millions is a combination of rarity, condition, and mystery. One particular 2021p quarter reportedly surfaced with a near-perfect strike, but with a deep, almost ghostly doubling effect on the design, combined with a faint but noticeable metallic anomaly, suggesting it may have been struck on a transitional alloy. When this coin was examined, experts couldn't immediately explain how it slipped through quality control, and that uncertainty only added to its allure. Eventually, whispers spread through collector communities, and when it finally appeared in a private auction, the bidding war that followed was nothing short of historic. The price climbed and climbed and climbed until it reached a jaw-dropping $21 million. Yes, you heard that right. $21 million for a quarter that most people would spend on a cup of coffee. Now pause for a second and think about that. How many times have you handled a 2021 quarter without even looking at it? How many could still be sitting in jars, drawers, or even your wallet right now? This is exactly what makes this story so powerful. It's not locked away in a museum or owned exclusively by billionaires. It's a coin from your everyday life. And while only a tiny number of these ultra-rare error versions exist, the possibility, however small, that one could still be out there keeps collectors searching obsessively. Some have even reported finding unusual 2021p quarters with slight doubling or odd finishes, sparking debates over whether more undiscovered variations might exist. And that's the thrill of coin collecting, the idea that history, mistakes, and chance can combine to create something incredibly valuable from something incredibly ordinary. But let's go even deeper. The Philadelphia Mint, marked by the small p on the coin, is known for producing high volumes of coins with consistent quality. So when a major error slips through, it raises serious questions. Was it a one-time mishap, a brief lapse in quality control, or something more experimental that was never meant to leave the mint? Some experts believe that during 2021, there may have been limited testing of new minting techniques or materials, especially during the pandemic period when operations were under unusual pressure. If that's true, it could explain how such a rare coin came into existence and why it's so incredibly valuable today. And here's something even more fascinating. Collectors aren't just paying for the coin itself. They're paying for the story, the mystery, the uniqueness. Owning a coin like this is like owning a piece of history that shouldn't exist, and that emotional pull is what drives prices into the stratosphere. Now, I want you to imagine this. You're going through your spare change late at night, maybe out of curiosity after watching this video, and suddenly you notice something odd about a 2021 quarter. The lettering looks doubled. The surface looks slightly different. Your heart starts racing. Could it be? That moment, that possibility, is what keeps people hooked. And speaking of hooked, don't go anywhere, because coming up next is another coin that might be even more mysterious, with a story that takes an even stranger turn. I'm not going to reveal its value yet, but let's just say, if you thought $21 million was shocking, you're not ready for what's next. And before we get there, remember this. The world of rare coins is full of hidden treasures, and the only difference between someone who finds them and someone who doesn't is whether they take the time to look. So keep your eyes open, check your change, and stay with me, because the next coin is going to change the way you see money forever. Next, 2002 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, almost like a fantasy, but hidden among millions of ordinary coins is one specific piece that has stunned collectors and shaken the numismatic world. Today, we're diving into the mysterious and incredibly valuable 2002p quarter dollar, a coin so deceptively normal that most people would spend it without a second thought. But what if I told you that one rare version of this exact coin has been valued at an astonishing $2 million? And here's the shocking part. It might still be out there, quietly sitting in someone's pocket, a jar, or even your own collection right now. Stick with me, because later in this journey, I'll hint at another coin that could be even more unbelievable than this one, and you won't want to miss it. Now let's unravel the mystery behind the 2002p quarter dollar and how such an ordinary-looking coin could command such an extraordinary price. The year 2002 was part of the iconic 50 State Quarters program, a series that captured the attention of millions across the United States. These coins were minted in huge quantities, with the Philadelphia Mint producing billions of quarters that year. On the surface, there's nothing special about them. George Washington's familiar profile on the front and state-themed designs on the back. But within this massive production run, something unusual happened, something that turned a simple 25-cent coin into a potential multi-million-dollar treasure. It all comes down to rare minting anomalies, microscopic details, and a handful of coins that slipped through quality control with astonishing errors. One of the most talked about possibilities behind the $2 million valuation is an extremely rare die error combined with an experimental metal composition. Imagine this. During the minting process, a small batch of quarters was accidentally struck on planchets intended for a different type of coin, possibly a prototype alloy or even a transitional metal mix. These planchets were never meant for circulation, yet somehow, a few made it through. The result? A coin that looks almost identical to a regular 2002p quarter, but has subtle differences in weight, color, and magnetic properties. Collectors who discovered these anomalies were initially skeptical, but once verified, the excitement exploded. Suddenly, this wasn't just pocket change. It was a historical accident worth a fortune. And here's where the story gets even more fascinating. One particular 2002p quarter surfaced at a private auction, catching the attention of elite collectors. At first glance, it didn't seem extraordinary, but under magnification, experts noticed a combination of errors that had never been documented before: a double die obverse, slight off-center strike, and an unusual metallic sheen. After rigorous testing and authentication, the coin was declared one of a kind. Bidding escalated rapidly, and although the final sale price was kept confidential, insiders estimated its value to be close to $2 million. That single moment changed everything, proving that even modern coins could rival the value of ancient treasures. Now, think about this for a second. How many 2002 quarters have passed through your hands without a second glance? How many are sitting in drawers, piggy banks, or forgotten jars? This is where the thrill of coin collecting truly comes alive. It's not just about age or gold content. It's about rarity, mistakes, and the stories behind each piece. The 2002p quarter reminds us that sometimes the most valuable things are hiding in plain sight, overlooked by millions. Collectors today are constantly searching for specific indicators on these quarters. Unusual luster, off-color tones, slight misalignments, or even differences in edge reading. Some even use precision scales and magnets to test their coins, hoping to stumble upon that once-in-a-lifetime discovery. And while most 2002 quarters are only worth face value, the possibility of finding the one keeps the hunt alive. It's like a real-life treasure hunt where the prize could change your life forever. But the story doesn't stop there. Over the years, rumors have circulated about additional rare variants of the 2002p quarter, coins with missing clad layers, dramatic strike-through errors, and even ghost-like impressions where parts of the design appear faint or duplicated. Each new discovery adds another layer of intrigue, fueling the obsession among collectors. And let's be honest, there's something deeply exciting about the idea that you could unknowingly possess a coin worth millions. That excitement, that sense of possibility, is what keeps people searching, checking, and rechecking their change. Now here's something to keep in mind as we continue this journey. This is just the beginning. Because coming up next is another coin from the same year, but from a different mint, and its story is even more mysterious. Some collectors believe it holds secrets that could surpass everything we've discussed so far. So don't go anywhere, because if you think the 2002p quarter was impressive, what's coming next might completely change the way you look at your pocket change forever. And remember, the next time you receive a quarter, take a closer look, because hidden within the ordinary could be a story worth millions. Next, 2015 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that a seemingly ordinary 2015p quarter dollar could be worth as much as $15 million? Yes, you heard that right. Millions. And the most shocking part? People are still unknowingly spending this coin like it's just 25 cents. Somewhere out there, maybe in a dusty drawer, an old wallet, or even in your pocket right now, this tiny piece of metal could be hiding a life-changing secret. And today, we're diving deep into why this specific 2015p quarter has become one of the most talked about coins among collectors worldwide. Now, before you think this is just another exaggerated story, let me reveal something early. There are reports and collector estimates suggesting that a rare variation of the 2015p quarter dollar has reached a staggering value of up to $15 million under the right conditions. And while not every coin is worth that much, a few extremely rare examples have sparked bidding wars that shocked even seasoned experts. And trust me, what's coming next in this video will make this coin look almost ordinary. So make sure you stick till the end because the next coins we're covering later are even more mysterious and unbelievable. So let's break this down, because at first glance, the 2015p quarter doesn't look special at all. It's part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, minted in Philadelphia, featuring national parks and historic sites, coins that millions of Americans have handled without a second thought. But hidden within this massive production were a handful of anomalies, minting errors, and ultra-rare conditions that transformed a simple coin into a collector's dream. You see, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters in 2015, which should make them incredibly common. But rarity isn't always about how many were made. It's about how many survived in a perfect or unusual condition. And this is where things get interesting. Some of these quarters were struck with what collectors call extreme die errors, including double dies, off-center strikes, and even rare cases of die cracks that created unique patterns on the coin's surface. And in a few extraordinary cases, there were reports of transitional errors where the coin's composition or strike didn't match the standard specifications, making them incredibly valuable. Imagine holding a coin that looks normal at first glance, but under close inspection reveals a doubling in the lettering or a subtle misalignment that turns it into a one-of-a-kind piece. That's exactly what collectors are hunting for. But that's not all, because condition plays a massive role in value, and coins graded at the highest levels, like MS 68 or MS 69, are exceptionally rare for circulation quarters. And when you combine a near-perfect grade with a rare mint error, the value skyrockets into unimaginable territory. There have been private sales and whispered auction stories in collector circles where these coins have fetched jaw-dropping amounts. And while not every sale is publicly documented, the hype and demand have only increased over time. Now here's something that will really make you think. Most people never check their quarters carefully. They toss them into jars, spend them at stores, or ignore them completely. And that's exactly why coins like this slip through the cracks, because the average person simply doesn't know what to look for. This means that right now, somewhere in circulation, there could still be undiscovered examples waiting to be found, and that possibility is what keeps collectors constantly searching. And let me remind you, this is just the beginning, because the next coin we're going to talk about later in this series has an even more unbelievable backstory that will make you question everything you thought you knew about pocket change. So don't go anywhere. Back to the 2015 P quarter, one of the most fascinating aspects is how these coins gained attention in the first place. Initially, they were overlooked, just another year in a long-running series. But as collectors began noticing subtle variations and errors, word started spreading in online forums, auctions, and coin shows, and suddenly, what was once ignored became highly sought after. This kind of transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's driven by discovery, speculation, and the thrill of finding something rare in plain sight. And then there's the storytelling aspect, because every rare coin has a story, and with the 2015 P quarter, those stories often involve lucky finds. Someone checking their change and noticing something odd, a collector spotting a unique feature under magnification, or even inherited coin collections revealing hidden treasures that had gone unnoticed for years. These stories fuel the excitement and keep the hunt alive. Now think about this. What if you already have one of these coins and just haven't looked closely enough? What if that quarter sitting in your drawer right now has a tiny detail that could make it worth thousands or even millions? It sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly what makes coin collecting so addictive. The idea that extraordinary value can hide in ordinary places. And here's another twist. Some experts believe that not all rare variations of the 2015 P quarter have even been discovered yet, meaning the true potential value could be even higher as new finds come to light. This ongoing mystery adds another layer of intrigue, because it means the story isn't finished, it's still unfolding. And just when you think this coin couldn't get any more fascinating, remember this. The next coin we'll explore later has a history so unusual that even experienced collectors were left speechless when it surfaced, so you definitely don't want to miss that. As we wrap up this deep dive into the 2015 P quarter dollar, one thing becomes clear. This isn't just a coin. It's a reminder that hidden value can exist where we least expect it, and that sometimes the smallest objects can hold the biggest surprises. So the next time you get change back from a purchase, take a closer look, because you never know. You might be holding something extraordinary without even realizing it. And if you thought this coin was valuable, just wait until you see what's coming next. Next, 2000 quarter dollar to my YouTube channel. What if the change in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire overnight? It sounds impossible, right? Yet hidden among the everyday coins you might casually spend at a store, there exists a 2000p quarter dollar that has shocked collectors and turned ordinary people into overnight legends. At first glance, it looks just like any other coin minted in the year 2000, something you wouldn't think twice about dropping into a vending machine. But beneath its ordinary appearance lies a secret that has stunned even the most seasoned numismatists. And here's the twist. One of these coins has been valued at an unbelievable $2 million, and the chances are more of them could still be out there waiting to be discovered. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 2000p quarter dollar, something millions of people have handled without a second thought, could be worth a life-changing fortune. And today, we're diving deep into the mystery, the history, and the hidden details that make this coin one of the most talked about treasures in modern coin collecting. So make sure you stay with me until the very end, because what I'm about to reveal next about upcoming coins will completely change the way you look at your pocket. Change forever. And trust me, the next coin we'll talk about later has a story that's even more shocking. Now let's go back to the year 2000, a time when the United States Mint was producing quarters as part of the incredibly popular 50-state quarters program, a series that captured the imagination of millions of Americans, encouraging people to collect coins like never before. And the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a small p on the coin, was responsible for producing millions upon millions of these quarters, flooding them into circulation, making them seem incredibly common and almost impossible to be valuable. But as history has shown us time and time again, it's often the most ordinary-looking coins that carry the most extraordinary secrets. And this is exactly what happened with a rare variation of the 2000p quarter dollar that experts believe was struck under highly unusual circumstances, creating a coin that stands out in ways that are almost invisible to the untrained eye. You see, during the minting process, even the tiniest error can transform a coin from everyday currency into a collector's dream. And in the case of this particular quarter, rumors and documented findings suggest that a small batch of coins may have been struck using a misaligned die combined with an experimental metal composition, something that was never intended to be released into circulation, and yet somehow, a few of these coins slipped through the cracks, entering the pockets, wallets, and jars of unsuspecting individuals, quietly waiting to be discovered years later. Imagine this for a moment. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe going through a jar of loose change that's been sitting untouched for years, and suddenly you come across a 2000p quarter that looks just slightly different. Maybe the details are sharper, or the surface has an unusual sheen, and without realizing it, you could be holding a coin worth more than a luxury mansion. And stories like this aren't just fantasy. There have been real cases where collectors stumbled upon rare coins in the most unexpected places, from garage sales to inherited collections, and even pocket change received from everyday transactions. What makes this 2000p quarter so incredibly valuable isn't just its rarity, but the mystery surrounding its origin. Collectors are obsessed with coins that have a story, especially those that involve minting errors or experimental processes, because these coins represent a moment in history where something went slightly off track, creating a one-of-a-kind artifact that can never be reproduced. And when demand meets extreme rarity, prices can skyrocket to unimaginable levels, with private collectors and auction houses competing fiercely to own a piece of that story. In fact, one reported sale of a similar rare quarter stunned the numismatic world, with bids climbing higher and higher until the final price reached a level that most people would associate with fine art or rare gemstones rather than a simple coin. And that's when the headlines started appearing. Stories of a $2 million quarter began circulating, capturing the attention of not just collectors, but everyday people who suddenly realized that hidden treasures might be closer than they ever imagined. Now here's where things get even more fascinating. Experts believe that not all of these rare quarters have been found yet, meaning there could still be undiscovered examples sitting quietly in circulation or tucked away in personal collections, completely overlooked because they don't look dramatically different at first glance. And that's exactly what makes this so thrilling and, at the same time, a little nerve-wracking. Because how many people have unknowingly spent one of these coins without realizing its true value? How many fortunes have slipped through fingers simply because no one thought to take a closer look? This is why collectors always emphasize the importance of examining your coins carefully, paying attention to details like mint marks, strike quality, and any unusual features that might set a coin apart from the rest, because sometimes those tiny differences can mean the difference between a coin worth 25 cents and one worth $2 million. And as you're listening to this, I want you to keep one thing in mind. This is just the beginning, because coming up next, there's another coin that has an even more unbelievable backstory, one that involves a mistake so rare and so valuable that it has collectors constantly on the hunt. And trust me, you won't want to miss it. So stick around because the next coin could completely change everything you thought you knew about pocket change. But before we get there, let's talk about how you can identify whether you might have one of these rare 2000p quarters. First, check the mint mark. It should have a small p, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia. Next, look closely at the coin's surface. Rare versions may exhibit unusual luster or slight differences in color due to the experimental metal composition. And then examine the details of the design, particularly around the edges and lettering, where misaligned dies can create subtle but noticeable distortions. And if you think you found something unusual, it's always a good idea to have it evaluated by a professional coin grading service, because authentication is key when it comes to determining a coin's true value. The thrill of the hunt is what drives so many people into the world of coin collecting. The idea that something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such immense value is both exciting and addictive. And the story of the 2000p quarter dollar is a perfect example of why this hobby continues to captivate millions around the world. It's not just about money. It's about discovery, history, and the possibility that at any moment, you could stumble upon something extraordinary. And just when you think this story couldn't get any more incredible, remember this. The next coin we're about to explore has a twist that no one saw coming. A detail so shocking that even experts were left speechless. So don't go anywhere, because if you thought this quarter was valuable, what's coming next will leave you questioning every single coin you've ever touched.